Back in the old days, we made cookie. My grandmother was the cookie maker. And this is kind of what it would look like without the deck of cards on there. That was usually for Christmas thing. Put the cards away. Sorry about that.
Where'd you find that rolling pin nowadays?
This is Grandma's.
Yeah.
Watch it, Buster! That was, man. And my grandmother was the best. I wrote a little poem and went like this. She was quiet and gentle, loving and kind, and mine was around for a very long time. She always, wait a minute, let me get this straight. She was around for a very long time. Her house was full of creaks and rattles, and there was an old granddad clock that stood next to her mantel. She went about her work so quiet and neat, I always felt sorry for her poor little feet. When you needed a spanking, she could always replace the Board of Education when not in its place. And if Grandma was here now, she'd sure like to know just how well my wife knows how to sew. And she always had with her a thimble and thread, and she asked if I would leave one beside her in bed. And Grandma is gone now, but with us remains someone just like her. Mom is her name.
Aww.
A tribute to my grandmother. December 8th, 1979, she went to see the Lord. Amen.
Amen.
And she would love it if she could see me making her cookies and stuff here. And she had the little colored sugars, you know, and we would help her out. She'd spread it all over the table, roll the dough, and we would cook or cut them with these little Christmas trees. Some of you do it still, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I hope.
Oh
so.
yeah.
Traditions are great, especially at Christmas time. And then of course she always had, Grandma lived on a farm and she always had a little thing of water here to wash your hands when you came in. If you were going to help her with the cookies, you'd better wash your hands. Anyway, how did she do with these cookies? Let me get this straight here. I don't want that to roll off and land on somebody's toe, but I'm limited on space here. All right? I remember my brother came in. And he washed his hands into the water. And if you'll notice, watch, he was washing his hands. And they were really dirty this day. I can still remember. They were filthy.
Yeah.
Not filthy enough for this trick, but I don't know what to tell you. Let me just lay this right down there. And then he had the audacity. My brother, he took the little sugars and he stuck his dirty mitts in with his hands. And he was playing with the sugar, you know? And you know what he did? He took the sugar, a whole handful of it, and he stuck it right in the water.
Yeah.
And he mixed it all up.
Oh.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. I'm all right. I'm all right. All right. And then he took the yellow sugar. This grandma was just taking a little break, you know. And he took a handful of that and he put it in the water too. Ooh. Got a bad angle, kid. 1/8 of a teaspoon, my butt. That's a bit. Took another handful. My brother took another handful of sugar and he put it in there like that. And he mixed it all up. Well, Grandma came in and she was livid. All the sugar was almost gone. And she needed to have, luckily I have these here, she needed a little more sugar. So, Grandma took her magic roller pin, waved it around, said the magic words, abracadabra. And you know what happened? reached into the water, she moved her hand around and she took out the yellow sugar, a handful of it, wrung it all out, blew on it, and it dried all up. And she reached her hand in again and mixed it all up, and she reached in there and pulled out a handful of sugar. Let it all drip out. And it was all dry. And she did one more time. She moved her hand around. She said, abracadabra, took a handful of sugar. And she took it and put it back, and it was all dry. My grandmother was amazing. And then she reached into the water and she cleaned the water all up again.
Looks like a green towel.
And the water...
Hey!
Wow. And according to the directions, you better wash your hands right away.